And we are live. Sports update. Adrian, Reid was good.
Good.
Another episode. Another episode. We right back at it. So I want to dive right into that USA game today, man. That was a classic right there, man. USA, they beat Serbia 95-91. They was down by 17 points at one point in that game. I knew it was going to be a tight one because trying to beat a team three times in a row is going to be difficult. We beat them in the exhibition. We beat them when they counted. I want to say maybe like a week ago or so. So trying to beat them this third time, I knew this was going to be a difficult game, but this was definitely a classic. Embiid, Durant, those boys came up big down the stretch. And I do got a bone I want to pick with Steve Kerr as far as
I was going to say, I'm not going to let you have us have our input. You go off first. I got to hear you go
What do
off
you
first.
think, Raaj?
yeah, I'm a little
Let's hear it.
But playing Derek White and not playing Jason Tatum just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, I thought this game was going to be a tight game regardless of what, but you got to give Tatum those minutes there, man. Not Derek White. Not playing Tatum didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I mean, hats off to these boys for pulling that off, man. Great game, man. Reid, what you think about the game?
Yeah, I was all day, from that game because, again, we've talked about it time and time again with these Olympic games. You just don't know who's going to score, who's going to go off. That was obviously, I mean, you were saying all day in the group chat what day game 3. It's the third game they've played them, so obviously they know how it goes now. And it seemed like Kerr was keeping all the starters in. Obviously, FS hot from through, so you're not going to take him out. He went 8 for 14 or something like that, I believe. And LeBron, after Bogdanovich did the Carmelo Anthony, that sparked the fire in LeBron. And I mean, I told you guys, I'll be honest, I turned off when they were down 11 because I thought I had bad juju. Again, I told you, like my grandpa would always say, when the Tigers were losing, he'd either leave the room or turn it off, and the Tigers would come back and win. So I felt like I had to do my part, and I turned the game off with I think it was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they ended up coming back and winning, so maybe there was some truth behind my Gramps' old wives' tales. But yeah, I mean, I think their defense was a little bit shoddy on the 3-pointers, but also Serbia was just everything. They couldn't miss a shot, and I don't think they're going to have that problem with France. I think with France, you're going to have to really lock down Wemby and Gobert, obviously. But the rest of the guys, I think they play with a more NBA mentality than a lot of the Serbian guys. The French have more NBA guys. I think Serbia only had 2, Jokic and Bogdanovich were the only 2 guys. So they played a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but they played a little bit more of a European style basketball where they shoot threes, pick and roll setups. So I don't think the French are going to do that as much. I think they're going to play a little more NBA style. But yeah, I mean, heck of a game. Again, I didn't watch the last 6 minutes of it because I felt like I had to do my part and turn it off so they could win and make it to the next round.
Yeah, Serbia gave him a third time playing so far this year, I believe. Like you called it, but I didn't really get to watch the game because I was leaving work. Kind of ripping and running a little bit. Watched a little bit the second quarter. As soon as I got home, by the time it was about to get over with, but USA outscored them 52 to 37 in the second half. Kevin Durant hit that clutch jumper at the top of the key off the ISO, and you know it was over. I mean, shout out to LeBron. He only took 9 shots, but he has turned into the ultimate distributor. A triple-double in LeBron fashion. Very unselfish. Steph Curry finally erupts and has a big scoring output. We've been waiting on that 3-ball to fall. Kevin Durant hits the big shot we had. But we've been really hard on Embiid, guys. But these last 2 games, he's played well. And I know we've been giving him a lot of crap for him, but he's came out and played well. I guess he's tired of getting yelled at by the French people. But like you guys said, I think it's criminal. Jason Tatum's not playing at all. I don't get it. We'll never get it. Drew Holiday playing more to him. Okay, I can see that. Derek White's getting more minutes than him. So, but
Derek White, I can't believe. Holiday, I can. Holiday offers you a little bit more defensively than Tatum does, I believe.
Yeah, Derek White. I mean, he's good, but there's no way Jason Tatum shouldn't see the court. Shout out to him for being a team player. Still looks poised on the bench. Still looks happy. So can't say happy, but that just goes to show you that the 3 best players are the old guys: Durant, LeBron, Steph. They still hold the torch for this team right now, and they're carrying us with potentially be a gold medal. And now as we talk about it, they play France. But this is crazy what Wemby did against Germany today. 41 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, and 10 blocks. My gosh. And this guy's second year in
I
the
mean, they combat him. I mean, obviously we have a little more size, but that's still so gross.
That's and he's doing it in FIBA at that. So it's a lot more physical than the NBA is. So shout out to them. They're gonna have their hands full with this French team. This team's not gonna be nothing to play with, but I do think this is what we need to see from the USA. They haven't really been tested since group play started, since Paris has actually started. I know they talked about the exhibition season, but they weren't really trying. This was a game where they were really tested. And I kept telling you guys earlier when they're down 13 going into the fourth. I said they're gonna find a way to win this game. LeBron, Steph, and KD are
because of me. I turned the game off. That's all they want. It was because of me.
So I'm happy they found a way to pull that game out. With the 95-91. Now it's on the France, man. There's going to be a very big home court advantage for the boys, but we got a lot of people supporting the USA as well. So I seen guys like Snoop Dogg was there, Spike Lee was there, Carmelo's there, D Wade's there, Travis Scott's there. I can keep going, but we got our people with us, so I'm rolling with the US for sure.
Snoop Dogg is slowly becoming one of my.
The France game to be as close as this one.
I think it would be. It would be 8 points, I believe.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if this is since I have this thing connected weird, but those French games haven't been high scoring though. It's been like 70, like low 80s to like mid 70s games. So, I mean, they obviously got up to 90 for the U.S. I honestly, you really have to put. Obviously, you had to put Embiid in there to take care of Wemby, and A like that. Those two have to be part of the rotation for Gobert and Wemby because those are the two guys that are going to be in the game most of the time, and you need the size. I think a big proponent of this is going to be Steph. I think Steph is going to have another big game. I think he's going to need to shoot threes. Him and Devin Booker are going to be big for this U.S. game against Germany in my opinion. But you had a question, Ron. Sorry, you were asking me something.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. Do you think the France and U.S. game is going to be as close as this one?
I actually don't think it's going to. I think the U.S. is actually going to be able to handle. I think they're going to be smart enough to take it. I think they have enough veteran minds on the team to take away Wemby and figure out Wemby. Gobert, I don't think is much of a threat as we've seen, but I think they're going to have enough veteran minds to take away Wemby, and I think that they'll be able to handle France easier than Serbia. Because again, like you said, Raj, and you said it multiple times today, they played Serbia 3 times, so they only played. They didn't even play France at all before, right? Not even in the prelims or anything like that. So they're going to come into this. I think they're going to know how to handle Wemby, and I think they'll be able to take care of this. I think it's going to actually be an easier game than the Serbia game, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to find the spread for that game. I don't see it just yet, but I mean, I'm assuming
I can't find anything for those games.
Yeah,
when is the game? Is it Saturday or is it Sunday?
Saturday.
The
women play tomorrow. The women play.
Is that for gold as well?
The women play Australia tomorrow. They're 16.5-point favorite.
That's for gold as well.
I think they have one more game. I think they're behind us. I think where the U.S.
I feel like they're a game behind us. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, Saturday against France. We're gonna see if they bring that gold home. It's gold or bust at this point for sure.
Yeah, gotta be.
All right, so yeah, I did want to switch it over to Michigan. So Harbaugh got a 4-year ban for his failure to cooperate with investigators. Sharon Moore is reportedly facing a level 2 NCAA violation for his deleting text messages in the Connor Stallions situation. So Adrian, where you at with all this scandal thing? This thing's still hovering around the Michigan program. Where are you at with this? And do you see Sharon Moore getting a suspension?
I think worst case, that's probably what's going to happen to him as far as Michigan titles vacated, things like that of that nature. I don't see that happen. I see him maybe getting a 1 or 2 game suspension. If he does get a 2-game suspension, it's going to suck because They play Texas week 2, and that we know that's a big game. So with that being said, I mean, giving Harbaugh a show cause, that was actually for the violations from the recruiting during COVID and whatnot. But you think Harbaugh cares? Nobody cares. We all know Harbaugh is not coming back to college football. And if he did, even if he wasn't, he'd be fighting that. I think that's more so the NCAA trying to really put the hammer down because of they're saying Michigan's not being compliant and everybody's rubbing their nose in their face. But let's just face it, the NCAA is a laughing stock. Nobody cares about anything they do or what they say. And when it really comes down to it, I think the bottom line is that NCAA really wants teams and to really to do the right thing, or as you call it, hit them where it hurts and find them out their pocket. That's what really matters the most at the end of the day. I don't think anything more serious than a couple coaches getting suspensions. Most of the coaches are gone. Clean Scale's gone. Mentor's gone. McDonald's gone. So I think nothing happens. There'll be more to talk about when Stallions does that documentary that's coming out on Netflix. I just kind of think I'm just over it. But like I said, and I'll tell Reid, and he doesn't believe me, but the Michigan cheater do what they weren't supposed to do. Yes. How bad did they do it? We'll never know. But I just think at this end, it is what it is, man.
I mean, I think the evidence has come out that they have cheated. I think they did cheat their way to the. I had an easy schedule as well. I think that played part into it, but I do think that they cheated in the bigger games. I mean, it was really the perfect storm for Michigan, which is fine. They won a national championship. I have to eat my crow with all the junk that I talked in the season. I can change what happened, so that's not that big of a deal. The Harbaugh thing, I think, and this is me even being an outside opinion, I think it's the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my life. You're going to give him a suspension till 2028, which his contract isn't even up with the Chargers at that point. And then even if he wants to go, if he does decide to go back to college coaching, he just can't coach for 1 year. Like, it's the dumbest suspension ever. You should have just left it alone. You're not enforcing anything with that. It was stupid. He's going to be a coach for 4 years and probably longer. I bet you he coaches longer with a good team could probably be. So I think that was a dumb rule, first of all. Second of all, if more stuff comes out and there's, a little bit more legality to the Sharon Moore situation, should he be suspended? Yeah, because he was part of that. He knew what was going on. I ultimately don't think it's really going to change much. I think even with him as the head coach, I think Michigan is down this year anyway. They got the Pac-12 coming over, joining the band, so you got to play. They have Texas on the schedule, but you got to play. Not like USC's great. I don't think Michigan's going to be as good as they were last year, obviously. So yeah, I just don't think that. I think if more comes out on the Sharon Moore thing, he probably should be suspended 2-3 games. I don't think it's going to change anything. I think Michigan's missing the college football playoff regardless, even though they're letting more teams in. They will make a bowl game, but they're not going to get into the college football playoff.
I'd actually agree with you. I'd be happy with Michigan right now. We can do previews in the upcoming weeks, but a lot of people are putting them at 8-4. I think anything over 9 wins this year is going to be a successful season for them.
I said 8 to 9 wins.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If he, Adrian, like you said, if he gets the 2-3 game suspension, that's tough because you got Texas week 2 coming to the big house, and you're gonna need him on the side after that game, man. Texas they come with a lot of firepower this season. They got national championship aspirations, so that's gonna. We got
season previews coming in the next few weeks, people. So be on the lookout. Not yet, but we're coming. So
yeah, I think Texas is gonna dog walk Michigan in that game. To be honest,
TJ Baxter just started running back, just tore his MCL and his PCL.
Yes.
Who's that?
Texas is starting running back, CJ Baxter.
There's such bad luck since Bijan left.
He was he transferred from Oregon State, right? If I'm not mistaken.
CJ? No, he was No, you're thinking of the receiver they had. CJ was a true freshman last year. They got another guy named Blue, and then they got a couple other guys, but no other guys is established.
Who's the oh gosh, why is it escaping me now? I don't know. Maybe if I think about it, I'll bring it back up, but I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, so I want to stick with college football. So I wanted to do some contender or pretender here. Contender or pretender. So I'm going to say the program, and I want y'all to let me know if you think they're going to contend for a playoff spot this year or just this program a pretender. So Adrian, first team, Miami, Mario Cristobal. A lot high expectations for him this season. They got Cam Ward to transfer from Washington State. So is Miami contenders or pretenders?
I want to say with the ACC being down for the state, losing a lot of people, Clemson, I'm not sold. Still got to go pretender, man. I like the addition of Cam Ward, transfer from Washington State. I think he's going to be an elite quarterback in the league, in the ACC, in the title this year, in the national picture. But Miami is a pretender to me. Until they show me they can actually do it, then I'm not picking them to win anything. Show me, and you can do it. It's the same thing we talked about Texas for years, where every year Texas is back. Then these last couple of years now they've showed you that they're actually back. Miami showed me something. Until then, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, give me a pretender as well. I don't think that they have the defense to muster it up against the ACC. You said Florida State lost a lot of people. They were also like fifth in the transfer portal. They did really well in the transfer portal this year. But I do agree with a lot of what Adrian said. I think, Cam Ward I think is going to be good for them. But ultimately, I think that they're not going to have defense to hold up against people. They're going to have to gunsling. I think Florida's going to be better than them, and I'm not a big fan of Florida. I think Duke can have a good shot this year. I think that I just don't think that they have the firepower right now.
Okay. All right. So sticking in the ACC, Adrian, you mentioned them. Clemson, Dabo Sweeney, Klubnik and those boys. They didn't do a lot in the transfer portal, but is Clemson contenders or pretenders in the ACC?
I'm gonna still go, and as much as I can't stand Dabo, I'm gonna go contender. That defensive line that they have this year, a bunch of studs on there. Unfortunately, they don't hit the portal at all, but they know how to recruit on the defensive line. Got a stud corner, Navion Terrell. Offensively, don't believe in Cade Klubnik. This is more so me leaning on the defense. I think the defense will be super elite. I think the Cade Klubnik, like I said, I think he's just an average quarterback. I do like Phil Maffitt. He's better than the best running back they've had since ETN left. They got a couple young freshman receivers in Ryan Wesco and TJ Moore, I believe, can be turned to studs, but it's going to take a little time. But give me contender for Clemson.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that because, again, the ACC, I mean, being a fan of Florida State, I'm in that conference, but the ACC is a very weak conference. You don't have the Floridas of old, the Miamis of old. Those teams, those programs have really flamed out. So I think, I think that Clemson is definitely number 2 in the ACC. So I think they contenders for a national championship. No, maybe contenders for an ACC championship. Possibly, I still think Florida State wins, but I definitely think that they will. Bowl game. What is a bowl game anymore? It's 6 wins, and you get into the Office Depot Bowl or whatever it is. But I think they can definitely. I think they'll be than expected. Like Adrian said, that defense is pretty solid.
Okay. All right. So Adrian, Notre Dame, they got Riley Leonard, the transfer from was it Duke? I think they're ranked in the top 7, top 10 right now. A lot of high expectations around Notre Dame. So is Notre Dame contenders or pretenders?
Much as I can't stand Notre Dame, I like the job Marcus Freeman's done. Like I said, got Riley Leonard coming in. They got a good running back in Jeremiah Love. Actually stacked at the receiver position. Defense is loaded as well. One of the best corners, I believe, the second best corner in the college football behind Will Johnson and Benjamin Morrison. Give me Notre Dame to be a contender. As we know, I don't believe they have that many true road games this year as well. So I do believe they always seem to find a way to contend and make some noise. And especially with the 12 team, I believe they'll find a way to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree that independent that they're in, I think, is dumb before joining a conference. They did lose their starting left tackle, which stinks. I think they have some no-name starting at left tackle now, but I also think, they can be good. I love Marcus Freeman, what he's doing. He looks like a squirrel on the sidelines, but again, like Adrian said, the defense looks good. The schedule is always pretty favorable to them, again, because they're in the independent. I mean, they do play. I believe they play Oregon. Is that who it is? No,
they play Texas. Texas A&M opening weekend. They can get past Texas A&M
in Ryan at night. That's going to be tough, but I think Riley Leonard's a good addition. Riley Leonard's a good addition for them because, I mean, you watched him play Duke versus Florida State last year. I was at a concert, so I unfortunately didn't see the game, but he was actually playing really well, and then I believe he got hurt in that game, and so I think he can do well in the game. It's a good program. They recruit well. A lot of people want to go there because of the name. So, yeah, I would call them contenders. I think, again, with the extended playoff, I think they could make it in.
And Raaj, real quick, this is for our boy Reid. Florida State travels to Notre Dame November 9th. That's a Saturday night game at 7:30. So that game could have a lot at stake in seeding and what happens in the college football playoff. Because remember, with Notre Dame being an independent, they cannot get a top 4 seed because they are not in a conference with automatic bid. So
yeah, my wife's uncle and I already have a pre-bet game. He's a Notre Dame alum and I'm a Florida State fan, so we're betting that game against each other. The loser has to buy dinner for the other one. So
I might need some side action on that one.
All right, my next team here. The Iowa Hawkeyes. They return to Cade McNamara. Seems like he's about 30 at this point. You got a veteran head coach, Kirk Ferentz. And look, they got a favorable schedule. Iowa's schedule, I'm gonna go through it real quick. Illinois State at home, Iowa State, Troy at Minnesota, at Ohio State, Washington at home, at Michigan State, Northwestern at home, Wisconsin at home, at UCLA, at Maryland, Nebraska at home. So Adrian, are these Iowa Hawkeyes contenders or pretenders?
They're pretenders. I think that the schedule I'm looking at as well. That's a pretty favorable schedule. Only having to play Ohio State, no Michigan, no Penn State, no Oregon, no USC. So they avoided some of the heavy hitters this season in the Big Ten. They're almost playing a Big Ten West schedule. But I guarantee you Nebraska will be much improved. Iowa State, I believe it's going to be a lot better. They're going to be a sneaky team to win the Big 12. I definitely think best case scenario, Iowa can finish third in the Big 10, but I don't think it's happening. I don't trust that offense. They're so bad. I believe they'll be better, but no chance.
Yeah, I'm with Adrian. God, what's going on with my hair? Adrian, I don't believe in Iowa. I never really have. That they have a good defense always, but their offense is always so stagnant. So yeah, I would say they're pretenders. I think as bad as UCLA is, I still think they'll be better than Iowa. As bad as a lot of these other teams that are joining the Big Ten, I still think they're better than Iowa. I mean, you look at these Iowa games, the over-under is always like for points totals is always like 20 points, which is crazy to me. 16 points. So, yeah, I think they're pretenders for sure. The defense will win them a few games, but I still don't believe in Cade McNamara. He's older than all three of us, like Raaj said. So, I'm not gonna put hope in any of that. I mean, Kirk Ferentz is a good coach. I don't know. I just don't like him. I not that I like them. I just don't think that they're the program that can push it over the top. Is what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I slid them in there just because the favorable schedule. They got the game at Ohio State. That should be a loss. But other than that, it seems like Iowa just every like 4 or 5 years, they get a favorable schedule and they run the table. They win a bunch of games they got no business winning. So we'll see if they have another one of those seasons. All right, so my next team.
I forgot to say, hang on, Raaj, before you continue, I just a quick one. I found the spread on that game, 16.5 for the U.S.
Okay, do they cover?
They're favored by 6. Yeah, they're favored by 16.5. I would actually say they would cover 16.5.
Okay. I'm gonna take France in those points just because this is a gold medal game. I'm gonna take France in
hard.
those points.
I think the U.S. saw what happened in this Serbia game, and they're gonna be running with a full head of steam. That's only my thought.
I think so as well, but I don't think they beat them by 17 points. So I can see more like 12-ish. So, all right. So yeah, getting back to the pretenders. Adrian, Penn State, James Franklin, Drew Aller. Can they finally get over the hump this year?
I'm gonna. It's a tough one for me.
Real quickly, I'm gonna say their schedule real quickly.
Okay,
at West Virginia, Bowling Green at home, Kent State at home, Illinois at home, UCLA at home, at USC, at Wisconsin, Ohio State at home, Washington at home, at Purdue, at Minnesota, Maryland at home.
You got it. If you can't
favorable schedule.
If you can't
Very
be a
favorable.
contender, if you cannot be a contender with that schedule, then James Franklin needs to be immediately fired. You dodge Oregon, you dodge Michigan, which is struggled with Michigan over these last few years. They've actually played Ohio State pretty well over the last few years,
Oh
especially
no.
at home. So I'll give them a contender this year. I still don't trust James Franklin, but I'm doing this with some hesitancy. I know they hired a new offensive coordinator. Drew Eller's numbers actually weren't bad. The offense is just at times just could not score the football, but they got two-headed monster in Singleton and Katron Allen. They got Julian Fleming, transfer from Ohio State. He's from Pennsylvania. Got a solid offensive line, so they have to be better. Defense will be good. Abdul Carter. So they have to be. There's no answer from what's about it.
Sorry, I was a little distracted because I have high hopes for Antoine Green, and he just went down. Probably has a concussion. It looks like he got a shoulder pad to the neck, lower chin area. I think he got a little bit of a concussion, but hopefully he's all right. I got high hopes for that guy. But I mean, not high hopes. He's not going to be Randy Moss, but I like him. Anyway, yeah, favorable schedule. I don't know how. This is what I don't like about this mixture of these conferences coming together. You're putting together like you're giving the popular programs easier paths to championships, which I guess works because you want the TV numbers. But like that famous clip of Michigan at Penn State when they're in the Mo Bamba background and it's the whiteout, like that's what you look for in these games, and you're not giving that. Like I think every Michigan Penn State game should be if you're playing in Penn State should be an 8-out game like every time. I think that's just like the best atmosphere to watch. I mean, honestly, like Ohio State, if they go there, should be the same thing. But yeah, I think they beat everybody. You said Washington goes to Penn State. Is that a night game or is that a day game?
Let's see.
It's got to be a day game if they're coming from Washington.
The time isn't announced, but yeah, they got Washington at home.
I would assume that's got to be a day game. The Ohio State ones has to be their whiteout, if I had to guess. But
what is that? October
yeah,
9th?
I could see them.
November
I could
9th,
see them. I could see them. I see them losing. I can see them losing to Ohio State, and like maybe one other team catches them up in there. But I could call them contenders. Sorry, that's a long-winded way of saying that, but I could see them being contenders for sure.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Ohio State game, I really don't see a whole lot of losses.
That's what I'm saying. But you always get that one team that just kind of upsets, that just kind of comes out of nowhere. So I could see it happening.
Yeah. So yeah, we see if James Franklin can finally get over the hump. So he definitely needs that. All right, my last one here, Reid. Your Florida State Seminoles, Mike Norvell. They got your boy DJU at quarterback. Florida State. They contenders or pretenders this year.
I mean, they're obviously going to be contenders. I think Mike Norvell is going to. I think DJU he's. I could have worse quarterback. Obviously, I could have Brock Glenn, who's the backup, the freshman that played after Jordan Travis went down. I could have him playing. I don't have any high hopes for him. I think the kid that they signed is actually going to surpass him. Luke, I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life. It starts with a K. He came from military academy. He's like 6'4", good size, 6'4", 2 something. So I have high hopes for that freshman they brought. But yeah, DJU, obviously, again, I like Cam Ward because he can really push the ball downfield. He's got a hose of an arm. But I can't complain about DJU looking good at Oregon State. Obviously, Clemson probably could have done a little bit better, but I think COVID year and him being behind Trevor Lawrence and then having expectations really got to his head. So I still think that you didn't have to pull up their schedule. I haven't looked at it. I know that, like Adrian said, they play Notre Dame, obviously the usuals. But yeah, I could see another 13-0, 12-1 season. Obviously, I think that the ACC is such an easy conference, and for everybody out there who always gives me crap about them being in the ACC, they tried to get out multiple times. The ACC won't let them leave because they won't get any TV viewership on any other team that they have in their conference other than maybe Clemson. And guess what? Clemson wants to leave too. They will not let those two teams leave. So you can go stick it where the sun doesn't shine when you talk about being in an easy conference. Big Ten is also an easy conference.
Yeah, before I give my prediction, here's your schedule. They open up in week 0. Don't forget, guys. playing
It's
Georgia Tech and Ireland is the 24th. So we gotta stay tuned for that game. Then Boston College at home against a tough Memphis team. Again, home at Cal, away at SMU, home against Clemson, away at Duke, at Florida, at Miami, home against North Carolina, at Notre Dame, then host Charles Southern, then at home against Florida. So I feel like it's a pretty manageable schedule. This is a tricky.
Notre Dame away,
Yeah.
tough. Miami away, tough, but I still think they win that one.
Be careful. Be careful with SMU. Be careful with SMU. I think they're a lot better than people think.
What did you say before SMU? There was one other one in there that I thought was pretty
Cal,
tough.
They host Cal.
Oh, no, BC, but it's at home. But BC always plays real hard against.
Oh, that's on Labor Day, by the way, too. That game's Labor Day.
So September what?
September 2nd, 7:30.
What's the game after that with a date?
They host Memphis at home that Saturday, following Saturday.
And that's September what?
The 14th.
Okay. My question is, are they going to try and make – well, no, because they have to be home for Boston College. So you escape the red bandana game. That is always a tough matchup against Boston College when they do the September 11th. They remember that kid who wore the bandana on September 11th, the bandana game. Always beat ranked opponents in those games. And Florida State actually almost lost to them last year. They won by 3 or something. But
I remember it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Florida State are contenders again. Again, easy conference. That schedule's a little, but that's what you get going 13-0. I have faith in DJU. Roydell Williams transfer from Alabama. Marvin Jones Jr. transfer from Alabama. Marsh, I can't think of his name at the moment. I'm thinking Nick Marsh from South Carolina, but it's not him. But they got another kid from Alabama who was a wide receiver. They got Jalen Brown. Malik Benson, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Malik Benson from LSU. They got a lot of good transfers, man. I'm excited about this defense and these wide receivers they got. So
I like what Mike Norvell's done at Florida State in this time. Done a great job of getting transfers, bringing guys in. I think Florida State's here to stay, man. As long as he's there and they keep doing what they're doing, they'll be contenders in a weak ACC, as we like to say. But they got a good roster. They come to play. They need DJU to stay healthy. Cannot afford him to get hurt because Brock Lynn was not it. And the guy you're referring to, because I had to look his name up to say it right, was Luke Cromenhawk. That's how you say it. I remember. I do a lot of keep my eye on recruiting. So it's Cromenhawk. I remember they're really high on this guy. Got on him early. So like you said, only thing I'm worried about is they have some receivers who have been at some Power 5 programs or Power 4, as we're going to say now, but they don't have a ton of experience. But I believe they have the talent. So they just need to make sure it's developed right and they can get it done.
Benson and Brown, I think, are going to be really, really good. Brown is a speedster and Benson's a big body, deep threat guy. So I have high hopes for those.
I like Hakeem Williams. I think he can really be your guys' best receiver if he can develop right.
Another guy, we went corners earlier. 2 guys to watch out for are where I always have trouble with Fentrell Cypress, the second.
Yes,
that dude's going to be
player.
Amazing. Yeah, and I am not going to pronounce this correctly. Azari, I believe is how you say it. Azari Thomas. He's another DB they have, 6'2", 194. Yes, I did look him up because try to pronounce his name. I believe it's Azari.
You got it right.
Yeah, Azari Thomas, big-bodied DB as well. I think he plays a little bit of safety sometimes. I'm really high on those 2 guys as well. I think they're going to be great. And I think he said Cypress has been their number 1 guy in practice, and he's taken every snap and the first team at practice. So yeah, I'm high on the teams. Let's get off this now since we've been talking about it so long. But yeah, I'm really high on Florida State, obviously, but I'm also a fan.
Yeah, I'm high on Florida State this year too. They should be in the playoffs, no doubt about it. All right, so I wanted to move on to the NFL came out with their top 100 list. So the top 10 of this top 100 list is Max Crosby, number 9 at number 10, number 9 Travis Kelce, number 8 TJ Watt, number 7 Trent Williams, number 6 Chris Jones, number 5 Myles Garrett, Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Lamar Jackson, and number 1, Tyreek Hill. So Adrian, what did you think about this top 10 list of the top 100?
I didn't know any of those other ones. I have opinions.
In my opinion, Patrick Mahomes should be the number 1 player in the NFL, and I think all the
Agreed.
NFL players know it. But I think this list is more of a like, who's the cool guy who everybody would want to hang out in the locker room with. I think that's what more of the list was. I mean, I can't disagree with Tyreek Hill.
With?
Yeah, I can't disagree with Tyreek Hill about arguably being the number 1 receiver. But I believe if you're doing top 100, I believe the best player in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes. So that's just my opinion. Now, am I going to throw anything against the wall and lose my mind? No, I think it's something we all know. And there's also I think a product of guys just tired of seeing him being quarterback, and especially where there's other guys in the league who block, catch, receive, more athletic. You know what I mean? So Patrick Mahomes is talented, but guys are probably tired of seeing it being a quarterback, because we all know quarterbacks get the glory for everything. So I think that played a huge factor in it. So
yeah, I mean, obviously Tyreek Hill had a great season. You can't put it past the guy. He's obviously electric on the field. So I'm not like super upset with it. The thing that I have quarrels with is I don't think Lamar Jackson should have been higher than Christian McCaffrey or Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I get it. He's won 2 MVPs. I think his second MVP was fraudulent, in my opinion. He was not a good quarterback that year. His rushing stats weren't amazing. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fraudulent MVP, and I think a lot of people vote for the cool shiny car that's in the garage, and that was Lamar Jackson last year. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he's won 2 Super Bowls already. He's looking to go back to back. There's just 3 of it. No, it's 2, right?
He won 3, I believe. 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is, but he's won 3 Super Bowls already. We should definitely. If you're not going to give it to a quarterback because he's a quarterback, like Adrian said, I think it should have been Christian McCaffrey over Tyreek Hill. He had 2,000 total rushing, 2,000 total yards rushing and receiving, 17 touchdowns rushing and receiving. I think he should have been MVP personally, but again, it's a quarterback award, so they don't give it to anybody else. I don't know, man. They like Adrian said, they kind of vote just what guys they would like to be in the locker room with, and Tyreek Hill obviously seems like you see the interviews with me, he seems like a fun guy to be around, so you can't be mad at it. It's just players voting for him. It's not really who's the best. It's kind of who you think is the most fun. My real bone to pick is Penei Sewell was a little too on the list. He should have been higher. What was he, 22, 25 to 22? Yeah, he should have been higher.
Brown was 23.
Do you have a list in front of you, Raj? What was Trent Williams?
He was 7. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. He was 7, so the number 1 left tackle was 7. What should the number 1 right tackle be? Probably in the top 10, if I had to guess. Penei Sewell is the top 10. He's the number 1 right tackle in the league, and I don't think anybody can convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, even if you don't want to give me top 10, give me top 15. He should be in the top 15 for sure.
And my only other gripe with this, so I'm looking at this again. Just going over again, guys. Okay, so, and this is not biased, so I just want to put that out there because you guys will agree with me. Now, Myles Garrett is ranked as the 5th best player in NFL. Correct, guys? That's what that list has.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett 6, Chris Jones 7, and T.J. Watt at 8. Now, if you're gonna have an edge guy at number 5 and have him as the highest rated defender, T.J. Watt is better than Myles Garrett. And I'm not saying this being a Steelers fan. If we go look at the numbers, head to head, the numbers are better. Every number statistically is better. He's been more productive. He played more games. The Steelers are not good when he doesn't play. 1-11 when he doesn't play in games. And people can come at me for it.
What are the stats when Myles Garrett doesn't play? Do we know that?
I'm not sure, but I can tell you
okay.
he's missed way more games. I can tell you that. If
T.J. Watt's missed more games than Myles Garrett.
No way. No way.
Oh, I don't know. I might have to look this one up. I think T.J. Watt missed more games than Myles Garrett. If I had a bet on it, I would say T.J. Watt missed more.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm looking it up right now. Keep going with what you were saying. I'm looking it up right now.
Me personally, I think Myles Garrett is better than T.J. Watt in my opinion. I think Myles Garrett is just more of a
better. I think it's a coin flip, to be honest with you.
They're both great players. Like you can't go wrong with either guy. I just feel as though Myles Garrett just reached a little more havoc. He reached a lot of havoc.
His production, TJ, I'm gonna say the production speaks for itself. That's really my argument for it, and I'm gonna stick with it. No knock on Myles Garrett, but I just as I say, but at this point,
you gotta ride for your guys.
But at this point, Chris Jones, I have no problem with Chris Jones where he's at. I could argue he should be in the top 5. Chris Jones has been nothing but productive, especially with these D tackles. That's easy to get more pressure on the quarterback from inside.
TJ Watt's played more games than I expected. I feel like he's missed more games than what I'm looking at. But I'm gonna look right.
The year, not last year, he got hurt right in the season last.
The year before, he played 10. He played 10 games the year before.
He had a torn pec too.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be wrong on this. I thought TJ Watt missed more games than. But here's the bet. Ooh, what is it? What does he have? 4 more games for TJ Watt. 4 more games. 104 to 100. Myles Garrett's played 100. TJ Watt's played 104. That is an actual shocker to me.
That's close. I think it's still close.
I think it's a coin toss with either one of these. I think either one of them on your team. I do think TJ Watt is a little bit disrespected. I don't know what it is. Maybe because he plays the left side of the line or the right side of the line, like Myles Garrett. But I don't know.
It just doesn't look as sexy. I think Myles Garrett is built like a Greek god. Like he's built like a horse. He looks like, if you see him, it looks very intimidating. TJ Watt almost looks like, I'm not gonna say a regular guy, but he doesn't look like
a white guy. He looks like a white guy.
Yeah, there you go. He just looks like.
Yes, he just looks like some juice head that you see at the Planet Fitness. He looks like a guy of Lifetime. Myles Garrett looks like a guy you love. He's like got SpongeBob muscle arm, like the blow up muscle arms, and TJ Watt just looks like the guy that's down at the Lifetime.
And I do
love funny.
And I do love Trav, but I think being at 9, I think it was a little too high for Trav, a big Travis Kelce guy. But I think that's more him having the name and being with the Kansas City Chiefs and being Patrick Mahomes. He didn't even have 1,000 yards last year. I know that
I think he's been pushed back a little bit, but I think that's people recognizing Travis Kelce.
Yeah, so Reid, Jared Goff was at number 48 on that list. Moved up 18 spots from last year. You think that's fair for Jared Goff?
Yeah, I mean, after what he achieved for the Lions last year, I definitely think it's fair. I am kind of one of the people that are saying that he scares me a little bit because you kind of mobile quarterback these days. And Jared Goff, apparently I found out a stat today that he leads the league in yak as a quarterback, yards after catch for the receivers. Obviously, the receivers do a lot of it, but he puts them in the position to get yak along Ben Johnson. But yeah, I mean, I think he plays into the Ben Johnson offense and plays into his skill set like he needs to. So, yeah, I think that's perfect. I think that's, I don't know what the quarterbacks in front of him were, but as long as like Geno Smith and Kyler Murray aren't in front of him, like that's fine. I don't think either of them made the top 100, but I'm saying if they were, that I'd have a problem with it.
I got some news you guys might want to hear. Just kind of over the last few minutes. It's involving the Dallas Cowboys. We all know that CeeDee Lamb's holding out, right? So I guess I don't know this
too, but I didn't read it.
I don't know if this was today. I think this was today.
It had to be because I got a notification for it too.
They were asking, Jerry Jones likes to talk, so sometimes I think he digs himself a deeper grave by talking. But they was asking him about CeeDee Lamb's contract, and this was him, quote unquote. I don't have any urgency to get it done. And then CeeDee Lamb responded on Twitter and said, LOL. So things are getting very interesting in Dallas right now. You already got to pay. Yeah. You already got to pay. Yeah. There you go. You already got to pay Dak. You already got to pay Michael Parsons, and CD wants some money. I don't know what's going to happen in Dallas. Dak's going to try to reshape the quarterback market. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I don't understand.
My buddy said the Cowgirls are in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, CD's the next guy up. Like, give him his money. Like, if you want to wait on Dak and Micah, that's fine. But CD's the next guy up. He's your best offensive player. Get the guy his money. You got it. You got the money. It's not like you don't got it. Like, give CD his money.
So wait, they have CD, Dak, and Micah. Micah's next year, isn't he?
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
I don't know how you managed to pay all them top
Quarterbacks are obviously
three
more
salaries
important
in
than
each
wide
position.
receivers. You hope you can draft a good wide receiver the next couple of years, but CD's a great wide receiver. I'd love for CD to get out of Dallas just because I hate Dallas, but
I mean, if you're talking Hendon Hooker's in, if you're talking
there goes Hendon Hooker. Yep.
If you're talking pick your poison, you got to pay the edge guy before you pay the receiver, just because of I know CD's good, but where Dallas is at right now, I don't know how you pay CeeDee Lamb all that money, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay a quarterback and you got to pay an edge guy. It's a tough spot to be in.
I don't think they're going to pay Dak. This is the last year of his deal. I think they're moving unless Dak wins them a Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're going to extend him and give him more money. And I don't see the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl this year. So I think they're moving on from them.
I don't see them winning the Super Bowl anytime. I know Jerry feels the pressure because he's 88, 89 years old and the clock is ticking, like Phil Knight at Oregon, but Dallas's roster is not good enough to do. They didn't even do anything in the offseason to address running back. They re-signed washed up Zeke. Like what are we doing? What are they doing?
I think they're gonna move on from Dak Prescott, and I think they're gonna draft Shador.
They would have to trade up for that because they're gonna win too many games for that. They're gonna have to trade up with the Giants.
They could trade up, they can give up a ransom, move up there.
Here we go. I got one. Panthers are probably gonna be top 3 picky next year, maybe even 1.
Possibly.
I think the Patriots are going to have the first pick next year.
Wow. And they don't need a quarterback. I can see that.
Yeah, they don't need a quarterback, but that's kind of that's an interesting one. I don't think they will get the first pick, but I think it's going to be the Panthers. Again, I just think they're that bad. But if you don't want to get Reid, but you're going to offer them like offensive linemen. I mean, I don't know how old Zach Martin is, but maybe offer him Zach Martin or that new guy they just drafted last year. Offensive lineman, your first round pick, a first next year. And I don't know. He would have to trade with Carolina, I think. I don't know if I would go for Shador. I'd rather go for Carson Becker if Dylan Gabriel maybe comes out.
Yeah, I like Carson Becker. Dylan Gabriel is a little too slender for me.
Or you find someone that wants to trade, like a team that needs a quarterback. I can't think of anybody. Seahawks, maybe. You could send Dak to the Seahawks, get their first-round pick, combine that one with your first-round pick and your first-round pick next year, trade up to first, go get Shador.
The Giants
scares me a little bit.
too.
Yeah, Giants do need a quarterback, so they may be hard to trade with. Shador scares me a little bit, but I don't know. I'd rather have a guy that doesn't come with the Dion baggage, like a Carson Becker.
I'm okay. I'm okay with Shador getting to that. He'll be fine. I don't think that's.
I think he'll be fine. No, don't get me wrong. I think he. Well, the Cowboys probably want him, so I could see that happening. Come on, Hendon, show me something.
Yeah,
it's fine. Oh no, I don't like this. Oh, he looked like he just twisted his. Every time he's going to get tackled, I'm going to freak out because I think he's going to get like a knee injury.
Yeah. So Adrian, what are you expecting to see from your Steelers in their first preseason game?
Do you want? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Raj. Sorry,
go ahead first, Raj, and I'll answer your question, Reid.
Yeah. No, I was saying, what you expect to see from your Steelers in their first preseason game, and what you expect them to do at the quarterback situation?
I don't expect anything too much. I don't think they're playing a lot of guys on no Fields. They said Mike Thomas said Fields will get a couple series. That's about it. I don't think Pickens or Najee or Warren's going to play. So just want to see what some of the young guys we drafted are going to look like. I know we drafted a undrafted guy out of West Virginia, my boy Beanie. So nickel corner, I believe he could be the next Mike Hilton. So we'll see. I'm not expecting too much. Just go out there. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. I know there rumbles about Justin Fields being QB1. Tomlin already came out yesterday and said Fields is Russell Wilson's number one QB and said the depth chart. So we'll see. I'll be happy, but I don't expect anything. Like I've said to you guys, once the season ended, I'm just happy that there's no Kenny Pickett right now. And he's struggling as quarterback in Philly. So that goes to tell you what we were working with.
I said it once, and I'll say it again for the Steelers, and then I'll ask my question. You got Russ on a rental. You got Justin Fields on a rental. Obviously, Russ has got, what is it, a calf injury, I think they said, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Justin Fields has been taking all the first-team snaps. People have said he looks great. I was a big Justin Fields guy when he came into the league. I'm going to still be a Justin Fields guy. I'm going to partially be rooting for the Steelers this year, Adrian, just because of Justin Fields. So I hope Justin Fields does get the job. I think Justin Fields is what I wanted when this looking for quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger retired. I said they should have grabbed Cam Newton. I'm hoping that Justin Fields will be that kind of Cam Newton that took them to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I hope that my Lions make it to the Super Bowl for the Steelers, but if they're just going to go and my Lions are out of it, I think Justin Fields would be the guy that, like, he could look like the Cam Newton. I think he's just going to look cool in a Steelers uniform. When they got the white jersey or the black jersey on, he's got the visor. I think he's going to look cool. He's going to look swaggy. He's going to, like Deion said, look good, play good, feel good. I just think that Fields should probably ultimately be the move, but I think it's going to be Russ at the end of the day for the first 4 games. My question to you was, do you want the IU trade to happen? And if so, what are you wanting to give up versus obviously they're going to want more, but what are you willing to give up for it? If you want him.
Pose a very interesting question, my friend. Now, my answers are going to be 2 different. Would I love IU? Yes, I absolutely would love to have Brandon IU. Pair him with the weapons we got and pair him with George Pickens. That would be a great combo. He's a great route runner, better than George Pickens. George Pickens is a deep ball guy. Get you those fantastic catches. Ayuk is the better route runner. Crisp, very on point. Hit him with a fire move. You got Najee and Jalen Warren. Offensive line's got improved and much better. I would love it, but I'm not giving up. I'm not willing to give him a first round pick for Brandon Ayuk, because then you give him a first round pick, then you got to pay him. He wants north of $30 million plus. I don't know if I'm willing to give him that.
He wants like Justin Jefferson money.
Yeah, and I mean he's had
not worth more than St. Brown.
Yeah, he's had one great year. Not to say that he can't. He's starting to make him, but I can't give him that kind of money, man. Maybe I'll give a second and a third for him. That's about it. But I'm not willing to give up a first round pick right now for him and then pay him $30 million plus. I just think it's asking too much right now. We're not. We need another wide receiver. It'd be nice to have him, but I don't think we're in dire straits right now like Carolina Panthers were last year.
Who would you say is the 2 and 3 right now for the Steelers?
Right now, as camp's been going on, it's that Van Jefferson's been the number 2 guy right now. Former Rams receiver. He's looked very good in camp. He said he's been catching 300 plus balls off the jug machine, like Antonio Brown used to do when he was there. And we know Roman Wilson hurt his, not Antonio Brown. I'm sorry. We know Roman Wilson hurt his ankle early in camp. They said he'll be back probably Monday, Tuesday. So there's a 2-week injury. So he'll be back. I like what I've seen from Calvin Austin, but I can't have him be our number 2 guy. He's more of a gadget guy, kind of number 3 slot guy for us. So we got Watkins, Fintez Watkins from that was with the Eagles last year, got some speed. So we got some guys, but I would love it for it to be Roman Wilson, but he's got to come back from injury. He plays the preseason games for me.
I ultimately think that's number 2 going to be is Roman Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy with that if that's the case right now.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be trying to pound that ball. It starts with the run game with you guys.
Arthur Smith is there. You guys are definitely going to be running it.
My dream is, I hope after camp that we can probably put Roger Jones on the left side, left tackle, and then we can just throw Patanu into that right side, and we have a first year guy and a second year guy heading those tackles, and we'll be young. We got James Daniels and Isaac Sayamalu. Then we can possibly see if we can get Zach Frazier in there, and we can possibly have a rookie starting center and a rookie right tackle. I'm totally fine with that. Very high draft picks, both 2 guys who I think will be very good for us. We won't have to worry about the offensive line for a long time to come.
This really quickly about this line game. Broderick Martin has been the whole game, and S. Rakestraw have both been in the whole game. So that's exciting to see because I wanted to see these guys play. And Rakestraw has been actually really good. Obviously, it's second and third team, so don't take much into it. But he's looked really good, even when they played the second team. Speaking of Gabe, see him in the comments there. But him and I are doing we did a dynasty team this year. We drafted George Pickens and Jalen Warren on our dynasty team.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is Pascal hurt
That's
again?
pretty-
Who is that?
Yeah. So I was gonna close it out with the Lions. So we know the preseason isn't about wins or losses. So Adrian, how could the Lions come out this game with this bang a success? What do you need to see from them?
What I get from the game right now with the Giants,
Yeah.
no main guys that are going to play are guys who are going to be dead pieces get hurt. Just need to see everybody healthy. Just need to see some aggression. It's just good to see some football back on the screen. Like again, going against other teams. We know it's been a very physical week against the Giants in practice in those 2 days of joint practices. NFL's not messing around. They fined both organizations $200,000. So the NFL is not messing around. And here's my philosophy, guys. I played football for a long time, even was gonna play in college. My philosophy was when things get physical, get heated. Whenever have I want to punch a guy with his helmet on? What happens if a key guy is heated, loses his cool, and punches a guy helmet and breaks his hand?
Kirby.
Yeah, he's
That's
lucky.
Kirby Joseph.
Lucky him or the neighbors is lucky it wasn't bad. So I get it. You get heated, things happen. You get tired looking at people. It's hot. You're irritated, but hey, just be smart. That's all. I like the physicality though. I like it, but just be smart about it.
The thing I didn't like about that is you saw Neighbors' press conference afterwards, and he said, I went up to him to tell him, he's my buddy, good play, but it wasn't even who made the play. Kirby Joseph was 10 yards away from Neighbors. It was Terrion Arnold, who he said was his guy, and he went up and he didn't even tap my helmet. But this is tapping on the helmet. He went up and he elbowed him in the helmet, and that set Kirby Joseph off. I agree with Adrian. Don't fight. That's a dumb move. Don't punch a guy with a helmet on. It's a dumb move. Granted, he had the Guardian on, so maybe he was punching some of the pads more than the helmet. But, you guys are boxing guys. Kirby Joseph looked pretty good. I'd put him in the ring against Jake Paul after that. He was sticking and moving on some of those punches. But, I just don't – I think it's dumb to fight in that. They obviously both got fined. I don't like the Malik Neighbors press conference afterwards because it wasn't a congratulations to Terrion Arnold, who did lock him up in that. Granted, everybody was talking about it. I think he went 17 for 18 on catches, 2 touchdowns. It's joint practice. The guys aren't going 100%. So I'm not taking too much stock into, everybody don't call Terrion Arnold a bust or anything like that.
Yeah,
joint practice, it doesn't really matter. He played well in this preseason game in his I think he played the quarter maybe or 2 series, something like that. But I'm pretty high on the Lions for this preseason. I do want to see more Terrion Arnold playing. I want to see how he does against, second teamers. Obviously, you're not going to play starters. Most of the teams aren't. So I'm going to be interested to see him. I really want to see Mekhi Wingo. I want to see how he's going to do. These rookies I'm interested in. There's Rakestraw, obviously. I talked about him earlier. I think he's going to be an actual solid corner. I think they got him on a steal in the second round. The guy I wanted to take was Marshawn Nealand. He got picked just before. Went to the Saints. But, I think that this team is going to – I think they're going to continue their success of what they had last season. Obviously, they're going to have a harder schedule. Packers got better. Bears got better. But I still think the NFC North is theirs to take. They just have to worry about the Packers, obviously, in Lambeau and at home. So I think they split the games there. I have high hopes for this Lions team. Goff just has to keep playing pocket, field general like he does. It's fun to see football back, and I'm really excited for these rookies because obviously we know Brad Holmes drafts like a wizard. He's done well in every draft that he's done, other than the few guys here and there, the Pascals and the Onzariques. But he got Aleen McNeil. He needs to get guys getting paid. You have McNeil needs to get paid. Hutch needs to get paid next season. Like, you got a lot of money invested in a lot of these guys that are out there. Goff got paid. St. Brown, Sewell, Decker got paid. So, we said it before, we'll say it a million other times. The cap does not matter. It's going to go up next year. So, I have high hopes for the Lions. I'm just interested to see who we tackle. I'm just interested to see how they're going to finish, and they seem like they have a lot of depth now. Amik Robertson looks great. I told you guys from all I've seen in the training camps that I've been working, he looked good. This Oku kid, he might actually have a roster spot, a secondary pass rusher. So Davenport, I hope, can get back to what he was at the Saints. Yeah, he's making a lot of plays, and I hope that who was I talking about? I think Robertson's gonna start, and then I think Rakestraw will ultimately be kind of a plug and play guy on the defense. I think if he lost his starting job, though, I think Brian Branch is taking that safety spot from him because he started in this preseason game.
Yeah, I'm glad they got the depth they got in the secondary now because injuries too. At some point guys are going to get hurt throughout the season. So I'm glad they filled the roster out and the defense out. I'm glad they got the depth they got.
Hate the NFL for giving the Lions a week 5 bye week. That's 18 games in the season. I hate it.
I was there last year. The Steelers had a bye week in week 6, so trust me, I know.
Week 9 is like the perfect bye week for teams with this.
Wouldn't we all love it? Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that was all I had. Anything else you guys want to add before we got up out of here?
I'll say give everybody look forward to next week. College football is 3 weeks away, so we'll be giving you conference predictions, national title, college football playoff. We got a big UFC event next weekend. Duplessis and Adesanya, so we got some stuff coming up. Stuff is in motion, man.
Izzy's gonna eat Duplessis alive. He's just gonna get destroyed. He already got smoked by Strickland and should have lost that fight. Now he's got to fight Izzy. You guys know I'm not a big Izzy fan. I just think Izzy is gonna just piece him apart. I think that's gonna be a lame fight for a title card. I think it's just gonna be bad.
And Raaj,
Izzy's favorite in that one?
Yeah, I believe so.
What'd you say?
Izzy's favorite in that one, right?
He's got to be. I would have to look, but he's got to be favorited. There's no way DDP is favored against Izzy. I would bet my life on it. Yeah, they were taken to the brink today, and I'm not talking about Cameron. That was definitely to the brink. I'm telling you.
Hey, Raj. Since Reid's not a big boxing fan, but we got Canelo versus Berlinga next month on the 14th. That's gonna be a good one.
Team Canelo.
Canelo. I don't know where this came from, but Canelo somehow managed to learn how to speak English at a decent level now. So there's a video we can't probably post it on here, but go check it out. Canelo just cussing in English for like a minute straight is the funniest thing you'll ever see. So guys, go check that out.
Isn't
I seen some of the highlights from that press conference.
Yeah,
Davis is fighting Shakur soon too, isn't he?
Caleb Plant was out there talking a lot too.
Is Shakur and Davis still happening? Is that still in the works or is that finalized?
Supposedly in the works. They haven't announced anything yet. So
okay.
It says I think super hard hitting Berlinga is going to win.
Yeah, he's got some power. Can he win? He has a shot. We'll see if he can connect. Canelo's getting up there, but
Canelo,
definitely be an upset.
Canelo. I'm always gonna be Team Canelo. I love Canelo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Canelo's favorite in that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta be.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, yeah, there it is. What's the update on that Lions game before we get up out of here?
14
down 14-3.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, preseason doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to see some of these rookies playing really. The rookies I want to see playing well are playing well. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, sir. There it is. All right. Well, yeah, we want to see how Hendon Hooker looks out there as well. So
he's out right now.
The Hendon Hooker
all
show
right,
live.
And then Tiger starting 30 minutes. So we'll see if they can do another one against Seattle.
We'll see.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. All right. Well, yeah, you guys make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and next week we'll be back in the building. It says Berlinga will win.
All right, Ish.
All right, man. Sports update. We see you guys next week, man. Peace.
Peace, boys.